Okay, all right, we'll get started. First of all, a big round of applause for our guests from US. Um, it's been a great way to start the week. We launched our as you can see, Startup Europe Week today. It's happening all over Europe, and actually we at ICK are for the third year in a row hosting this great event. As part of it, we had a full house today with over 80 founders with their boot camp, and now this great lecture. And for this, we have to thank one person alone, not with her team, Ambassador Teuta Sasia Faimderis Shom. We've been discussing with Ambassador for some time on how we can connect two communities, two countries, which are so close to each other, let's say in more pragmatic way, and also doing business, and I think in the future on the knowledge-based economy. So this is just a start, and with us today we have a great delegation, which I want to also acknowledge Larry Luxner, news editor for the Washington Diplomat and freelancer correspondent at the GTA and the Times of Israel. Larry is right there, Larry. I didn't see you, so maybe a round of applause. Nestori Tsenai also is the founder and partners in digital health. Maybe it's just so people can see you. Sorry,
my mom's from Brisbane and my father's from Kukas.
Okay, so Mr. and Christina and it's okay. Mr. Nelson Happy represented Dilworth Paxson, a law firm in Philadelphia, right there. Josh Bernstein, GB Investment Real Estate, coming tomorrow, but of course, we'll have him tomorrow. Aaron Harkam, Air Capital Real Estate, also tomorrow. Alvina, also tomorrow. Michael Mintz, founder and CEO, so maybe just, you're the young guys, so they want to see you. Michael is the founder and CEO of MD Squared Property Group, is one of the third-party property management company managing over 80 buildings and 3,000 units in Europe. So, anyone else? And Lloyd, Amel, hi Lloyd. Lloyd, you're working with Grapevine and artificial intelligence, right? That's what I have.
Yes, lead hackers, that's my title.
What is it?
Lead hacker.
All right, great. So we'll have some time also to meet some of the people who are interested in that after the show. All right, and then of course we have our main guest who's waiting with his microphone very quietly, so he doesn't do that. Mr. Ari Zoldan, the CEO of Quantum Media Group, a global marketing and media company based in New York. For all of us who watch a lot of American television, we've seen Ari before, so great pleasure to have you here. Welcome, Ari.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just want to, before I give you the floor, we had a brief round around ICK, Innovation Center Kosovo. Of course, you will share your thoughts and insight maybe during your presentation, but I want to tell you that this is, on behalf of all of us, I want to all thank you again for being here and just letting you know that you've heard of Kosovo many times in different occasions, but this story which you saw today is a new story, which is just getting started. And I actually invite all of you to be part of it because it will be a successful one. So
Looking
thank
forward.
you for your presence.
You bet, of course. Looking
Oh,
forward.
you have
I think I have the mic. Okay, great. Thank you. So, you guys know Americans, we love to talk, right? Talk and talk and talk. We do very little, but we talk and talk and talk. So, I'm going to flip that around, and I want to hear from you guys, and I want to hear from your experiences working in the tech sector. So, whoever feels that they've got the greatest startup, whoever feels that they're making a difference, whoever feels like they're going to change the world with their company, I'd like you to stand up. Stand up, let's go. Stand up, come on. No, but I'm looking for some honesty. So if you're working with a company if you're working with a company, you're involved in an organization that's making a difference, that's fine. Then I have to talk to everyone else offline to find out exactly what you're doing. Stay standing. Stay standing. Come on, stand if you feel like you're working for a great organization. A great organization. That's something else. You know, how about an organization, how about a company that you feel passionate about? A company that you believe in? No one? Oh my God. You guys over here, you're not too into it, are you? All right, we'll have to talk. We'll have to talk about that afterwards. Okay, so stand up. So 1, 2, just three people, 4, 5. Okay, good. So I'm going to use you guys as a test case. Stand up. Come on, stand up. So sit down, and this is a very, very honest question I'm asking you. Sit down if you feel that you've really run through your marketing plan. Sit down if you question whether or not you got your launch product roadmap on its way. So sit down if you have concerns about that.
We have concerns about it.
No. If you have concerns about it, I want you to sit down. If it keeps you up at night. Okay, good. So that kind of proves my point, and that's an opening for this conversation. I've been in the tech sector for about 20 years. I failed 100 times. I succeeded 2 or 3 times. As you all know, the chances of success, the chances of what you guys are doing is so slim. Right? 80% of startups fail the first year, 75% of startups fail the second year of that 80%. And then if you're lucky, maybe 2, 3 of you will get to break even, and then maybe one company will go to market successfully. So we're going to talk about today things that you can do to be able to market yourself, to be able to brand yourself, and at least increase your chances of success. So when you hear the word innovation, raise your hand. What comes to mind? Give me one word. Come on, New Yorker. I want to tell you something. New Yorkers would be like screaming at me. Go ahead.
Something new, something improved.
Something new.
Yeah.
Okay, what's your name? Good. I can't pronounce that, but I believe you. I believe you. Go ahead.
Something
Never existed before. Who else? Innovation.
Well, I'd say a different composition of the existing things out there.
Mm-hmm.
Create something new.
So creating something new from something that's already existing.
Or daring to do something that others didn't dare.
Good. So risk. Good. Go ahead.
From 0 to 1.
What's that?
From 0 to 1.
0 to 1. Tell me more.
That's something that didn't exist before that you came up with.
Good. Excellent. That's very good. Who else?
User.
User.
All about the user. Innovation.
Innovation. User. So tell me more.
You create something that's useful to the user, not the computer or machine.
Mm-hmm. And what spurs innovation? Give me one word. What spurs innovation? What is it?
Idea.
Need. What else? Go.
Idea. Need.
Idea. What else? What is it?
Laziness.
Laziness? Well, most Americans are laziness. But you guys here seem exactly the opposite. What else? What is it? Curiosity. How come nobody mentioned passion?
Well, that's some sort of laziness, right?
Passion? I don't know. I sit on my couch all day and my wife wouldn't call me passionate,
What do you think of yourself?
I think, yeah. It depends. It depends. It depends on the day. So tell me, what are you guys going to do to be able to increase your chances of success, knowing that your chances are so slim? And sure, maybe you have to go through several iterations and several companies to kind of get to that success point. So the question that I always ask myself every time I launch a company, whether it's a product or a service, the only question that I believe entrepreneurs should be asking themselves every single morning before they get up is, how do I determine success? Right? So everyone defines success differently. Sometimes it's if I have a great family, I'm successful. Sometimes if I make a lot of money, it's successful. Sometimes if I have a fun day with my kids, it's successful. I don't have fun days with my kids, so let's kind of like try. It's more of a headache. But the definition, and I'd like to hear from you guys, how do you define success, Ambassador?
I define success as something that makes you happy, that you earned it with a lot of work, with a lot of passion, and you achieve your goal.
Beautiful. So something that's fulfilling for you. Michael, how do you define success?
So for me, generally, I set certain benchmarks, and then based off of hitting certain criteria, I define that as success.
So a very analytical spreadsheet approach. That would be success. Okay. Who else? Go ahead.
Success is if you start a job, you finish, for me, is success. If
So
you finish a job, you succeed.
you succeeded. So we finish a task. So if I start my dinner at 6 o'clock and I ended at 6:30, I would be very successful. Got it. Okay, good. Who else? And this is a very personal question. How do you define success?
I'd say something, I built it, and it's still active 15 minutes to 2 years to 5 years later, that's successful.
Excellent.
And I say 15 minutes just because we program things, and it works for 15 minutes.
Give yourself more credit. Go ahead.
Make a dream come true.
A dream come true. So give me an example of a recent dream that either has come through or maybe is in the process of coming through.
Having a career
Good. And how far away do you think you are?
on my way.
Good. Give me a time frame if you were to guess. A week, a month, a year.
Maybe 5 years.
Okay, so it's a longer, that's fine. Okay. How else? 2 more. How do you define success? Go.
Exit, big exit.
Okay, good. Good exit. So, okay, that's fine. Who else?
If I have reached the minimum target within a year, that's for me success.
And do you wake up every day? Do you wake up once a week, kind of evaluating that?
Yes.
You do. Good. Who else? Yeah.
Yep, creating values that we can share them to our generations.
Okay.
That would be maybe an everyday morning routine that would make you better and in the skills that you're growing or you want to have.
Good. Go ahead.
Maybe it should be, according to me, happiness is the final goal of success. And from my point of view, if achieved by making a balance in work life, fun, joy, in all fields.
Amazing.
So,
I appreciate that. So whoever answered that question, whoever gave an opinion, I want you to stand up. Stand up. Whoever shared some insight with me. So we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Can anyone take a guess? Can anyone take a guess who stood out in that conversation? Who stood out with that answer? The general theme amongst everyone was pretty much the same. It was about fulfillment, it was about hitting goals, but there was one person that said something different. Come on, I'll buy you guys a Snickers, an American Snickers candy bar if you like.
I guess this one is an exit.
Ding, 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 ding. Okay, everyone else sit down. So you stay up. No, you stay up now. You stay up. No, this is actually very interesting. And this usually, I've spoken in front of, 400 or 500 people and sometimes 1,000 people. And we've done this exercise before. And it's interesting because when you speak to 98% of entrepreneurs, words like passion and fulfillment and happiness and family come up. But there's always a few that talk about financial success, which I think is very interesting. Which kind of, not to put you on the spot, I would like to hear from you kind of your frame of thought. You talk about financial success. So what does an exit mean? How much money will you be happy with?
It would be 10 million in 5 years, specifically.
Is that your goal?
Yeah.
And how confident are you that you're going to hit that goal?
Zero.
You're zero confident.
No, I have about 0.5%. But I'm shooting for that. So.
Good. So if you come a little bit lower, that's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm shooting for that. But I think the reason I chose it is because what most people said, I like this thing, but I think financials have to do a lot of, for me, have to do with that fulfillment. So I'll
Right.
be able to give back and all the other stuff that I agree with the rest.
No, that's beautiful. And again, I'm not judging you. Well, maybe I'm judging you a little. No. That's just a New Yorker. We're always judging people, But we always, we always say we're not judging you, but we're always judging you. That's like in New York. No, that's interesting. So it's $10 million in 5 years. So what's going to happen? Hopefully you'll hit those marks. What happens if you don't hit those marks?
Oh man, I didn't think of that. Yeah. No, it's gonna be fine. I mean, this is a personal goal I have. If that doesn't happen, that's completely fine. I failed before, so I'm okay with failure. So.
Good. You're gonna keep.
Another 5.
You're gonna keep going.
Yeah, probably.
Good. So, yes, please. I'm gonna roast you again soon because you're the. So hang tight. Yeah, and I wouldn't laugh too loud because you're coming up next because I have some questions for you. So a third of this country is unemployed. Some people say 20%, some people say 25%, some people say 30%. The ambassador actually knows the real number. So the unemployment rate in this country, ambassador, is what?
It depends what you call unemployment, whether those only who are registered and pay taxes or other who don't pay taxes. So according to statistic agency, it's around 30%.
30%.
But there are also a lot of people who we know that work, but they're registered as unemployed.
Mm-hmm. So let's say 25 to let's say 30%. What is it? 40%. You're saying it's 40%. So negotiate. You'll be somewhere, in the middle. In the middle. Does that concern anyone that basically from this angle down here, there's a very good chance that you'll be unemployed? I'd be worried about it. It's a quarter of this room is going to be unemployed. So there's a quarter of people that are going to be potentially working for somebody that there's no job to fill. So that's what I love about entrepreneurship. That's what I love about starting a company, is that you get to take that power back to yourself. So you're not working for anyone other than yourself. And that's, you're not giving your destiny over to you, who's going to hire me, and you don't like my suit, you may fire me one day, So that's what I love. That's the thrill that I love, thrill that I appreciate in starting a company, and that I report to myself, for better or for worse. I take responsibility for my actions as well. I bear the responsibility and feel the responsibility when, if I can't make payroll, right? Because I have a group of employees. So there are challenges within running a company as well. And I ask this question a lot: are entrepreneurs, are we made or are we born? Is it something that we can adapt to, something that we can learn to be an entrepreneur? Or is it in our DNA to take those risks? Yeah, made or born? Made, really. So you don't believe that certain people just have an inclination towards risk?
I have a different approach to this. I think that people can change in any time, and each other. So we all take different pieces of risk. So I don't think that we are born with an ability. It's something we create during our life.
Mm-hmm. Okay, fair enough. Entrepreneurs made or born? Go ahead. They're born.
Yeah, they are born definitely. I think their mistakes are born, and naturally they just love the new challenges and the risk, and just makes them alive.
Right.
I think.
So thrill seekers.
Yeah.
Yeah, thrill seekers. Who else? Made or born?
Some made, some born.
Some made, some born. Like half your body, is made, the other's born. You wake up on Monday. Yeah, you wake up Monday, you're born. Some of them you're.
There are a lot of factors that imply different circumstances, but maybe the person is not born to be an entrepreneur, but he or she has to become one, and then with experience, learn what is good thing.
So you're saying that they may be forced into it to be able to make it on their own?
Forced, but like, circumstances.
Circumstances, right?
Maybe the
I know people like this.
Yeah.
That are entrepreneurs today, and they were not born entrepreneurs.
Mhm.
They were never born until something happened, and then
They were forced to survive.
like the fortune. It was like a fortune for them, and then they continued.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was saying maybe the question would be whether someone, a very successful entrepreneur is made or born. Maybe is Elon Musk, which is Steve Jobs, made or born? Because you can call my grandfather an entrepreneur who maybe sells milk.
Mm-hmm.
So it's some sort of entrepreneurship, and
Right.
he was made because he had to get it by the end of the month.
Right.
But if we ask like these super powerful entrepreneurs whether they are made or born, that extra kick in their charisma, whether that is something that you can pick up.
Sure. So was it your father or grandfather that sold milk? Grandfather. And you said you classified him as an entrepreneur, right? So I think that your grandfather falls exactly in the same bucket as Steve Jobs and Bill Gates and Elon Musk. Why?
Because they didn't leave their faith to someone else.
Mm-hmm.
They took matters in their hands.
But what was unique about Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, Elon Musk that made them situationally successful? The key word situationally.
Timing?
What is it? Bingo. Excellent. You got it on the first try. It was timing, right? They were at the right time, at the right place. You guys are at the right time and the right place. Average age here, my guess, is probably 23 to 23, 24. You're in a very, very, very unique, and quite frankly, I'm very excited for you. You're in a very, very unique place. Because when you hit, no offense to the 30-year-olds, 35-year-olds, when you hit a certain age bracket, it becomes very, very difficult to be able to venture out and be able to start something. At this point, so, if things don't work out, so you go back and you live on your mother's couch and you eat food from bars, there are ways around it, but when you have families moving forward and you have mortgages, taking risks then are very, very different. And that's why I say the ages between 23 and 33, I'd say are the prime years for you guys. And I really, really encourage a lot of entrepreneurs to be able to take that risk. And if you feel passionate about something, you feel passionate about a company, you should go out and you should do what you feel, you should do what you love, and you should take that risk. I mean, your grandfather, I'm sure, took a risk delivering milk, right? Steve Jobs took a risk. Elon Musk, they all took risks. They felt connected and passionate about what they did, and obviously they became successful. But I'm curious if you asked your grandfather, if you asked Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Bill Gates, how do they define success? And I guarantee it's going to be the same answer. A lot of the answers that people shared here, except for you, but listen, but no one's the funny thing is no one else is gonna make it here. You're gonna be laughing to the bank with $10 million. So, you'll be lucky. So can Kosovo become the next tech hub? Can it become, and what do we need to get there to be able for it to become the next tech hub? Anyone take a crack at it?
I think it's Vlad's time to talk, because he's the money guy.
Where is he? Oh, he left. Okay. Tell me, what is it going to take?
A lot of risk.
Yeah, you already made $10 million, so you're going to be pumping that money back in.
Yeah, we'll have to. I think a lot of risk. I think we need to take more risk. That's what I think.
And is it inherently in the culture here to be able to take risks?
I honestly don't know that. I don't know. Maybe.
Ambassador, sorry, we have to give the floor to the ambassador. Is it?
It is. We lived historically very difficult situation when we had a lack of chance to be alive, our substance was in risk, and we managed to stay alive. And our entrepreneurs and our young people, although they are in a very difficult situation with not being possible to travel, not being possible to access many funds that others do, they are successful. So I think that the biggest thing that we got with independence and with liberation is that they got the chance. And I think that this is a key for success. This is why you are here. This is why you as businesses are here. To enable those brilliant young people to have a chance to tell you. We talked earlier. People, your friend were telling, don't go there, there are tanks, there are riots, you will not be safe, you will be kidnapped, etc. And you come and you see different Kosovo.
Mm-hmm.
So this Kosovo has potential. And this potential have to have a chance. And with that chance, then we will become a hub for IT and for other businesses.
All right, a round of applause for Ambassador. This is, and I think a standing ovation. Let's go, like a standing ovation, and then we'll clap. So, I was telling the ambassador over lunch, and the public perception of Kosovo, for better or for worse, probably for worse at this time, when you ask an American, and actually, are we live streaming right here? All right, so I'm not going to say such bad things about America, but I'm not going to say such bad things about my friends and family either. But what I'll tell you is, only 10% of Americans have ever traveled outside of the United States. Only 30% have passports, which is mind-blowing. You ask any American where Philadelphia is, even if they're across the street from Philadelphia, they'll have no idea where it is. We're just not geographically inclined because we're very comfortable. They don't teach geography in school. Let alone you ask somebody where Kosovo is. I mean, they think it's on another galaxy circling the sun somewhere. I had a family member call me. He goes, listen, Ari, I'm very, very serious. Just know this. He goes, and I'm very serious. He's like, if you're gonna be kidnapped and you're held ransom, I don't have money right now to send you. I said, are you serious? And he goes, no, I'm very serious. He's like, I'll try to save some money in case. So there's this perception in America, when you think of, Kosovo, you think about tanks, protests, ethnic cleansing. You look surprised. Are you surprised? You're not surprised. So every single American, I can tell you, the minute you say the word Kosovo, it's like a death. It's like, that's it. You're calling it, like, Ari, why did you even buy a round trip ticket? They're like, doesn't make sense. You're going, you're not coming back. That's the public perception. Whether I think it could be changed on a governmental level, I don't know. On an organizational level, I don't know. I know where the needle could be moved very, very quickly. And it's the people in this room, because there's so much human capital. And you guys are in that age group, that 29, that 23 to 33, where you're young enough, you're hungry enough to be able to not only work on your own brand, which we're going to talk about shortly, but also to change the face of Kosovo, to not associated with tanks and ethnic cleansing, but rather innovation and entrepreneurship.
Kindly, could you please give us an advice how to increase the PR of Kosovo? Because today we can see some journalists that they do a bad PR for us, so such kind of things are hurting us. So could you briefly give us your experience and what can we do to promote Kosovo?
Sure. No, I appreciate the question. I appreciate the question. Raise your hand if you have a blog. Okay, that kind of sucks. So 4 of you, 5 of you, maybe. All right, maybe 5.5 over here, So you're talking about, what can you do on an individual level, is to start writing. And I think, I do a lot of television, a lot of radio, a lot of media, and I tell everyone that the most powerful form of media, without question, and I do this exercise, I say, okay, TV, radio, print, trade journals, and like blogging. And I say, all right, everyone mix it up, put it in order as to which has the greatest influence, right? Everyone says, TV, radio, print. But it turns out that blogging, individual blogging, is by far the most powerful form of media. Anyone take a crack why? Go.
Search engine optimization.
No. I mean, yes, but no. Unofficially, officially, if you want to play that game, Television, anybody could get on television and talk about nothing, right? That's all. You watch the media today, they're all just pundits and talking heads, and they just regurgitate the same thing. Very, very few people are excellent writers that are able to transmit their thoughts on paper or on blog. And when you do that, you start building your influence, you start building your brand equity as a blank. What's the blank? You build yourself into a good, what else? You build yourself into an expert. That's critical. You become a thought leader, because very few people, and it's a pain, are sitting there and writing blogs. But you know what? Who's here into artificial intelligence? Raise your hand. Okay. Artificial intelligence. So stand up. What's your name? Errol. Tell me about your company.
I don't have a company, but I'm passionate about it, and I'm starting to learn new things about it, and I'm starting to grow. So.
Good. Do you have any interest in building your brand? Do you have any interest in getting your thoughts out there?
In the near future, yes. For the moment, I don't have a written project.
Mm-hmm.
In the near future, yes, I will.
Okay, good. So my suggestion for people like you, for individuals, that if you're passionate about AI, if you're passionate about artificial intelligence, and you don't have a company and you don't have a product, the goal, or at least right now, what I would focus on is your personal brand, and to position yourself as an industry expert in your space. And whether your company fails or succeeds, blah, 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 you change companies, what you have with you that always carries is your name, your reputation, and your resume. So it's your name attached to AI. That's how you position yourself as an industry expert. So let's talk about brand equity. So who else? What does somebody talk, go ahead. Blog, do you blog, do you write?
No, I do not.
Uh-huh.
Well, we do blog a bit for our company website, but that's about it.
Traction is flat probably, right?
Didn't even check.
Yeah, it's tough. See, it's challenging writing like good, compelling articles. But that's what I've always found. By far, blogging and writing is the most powerful form of media. Because again, it positions you, very few people can like sit there and write a thought-provoking article, but when you start cranking out content, you take that content and you send it to the media, right? And the media and the reporters and the journalists and the bookers, they all like look at the content and they say, hey, wait, here's an intelligent person, what is he working on? And that's kind of a hook into the media. And I've always found that to be super, super powerful. So the value I see in this room is human capital. And anyone that runs a company over here knows finding talent is, I could say comfortably, virtually impossible. People come, they go, open door, closed door, they're not happy with their pay. So finding employees, finding smart employees, retaining them is so difficult, especially in the US. What's unique about, I think, the ecosystem here in part is that because unemployment is so high, and I do feel there is a secret sauce. Unemployment is high, the wages are a bit low. The country is a new country, it's going through changes. And I feel that's a kind of secret sauce where potentially Kosovo could do very, very well. I know a company like ours, we're always looking to hire, and we just can't go to parts of the world. We can't outsource to China, we can't outsource to Jordan. We need to outsource to countries that speak fluent English, that understand programming, understand design, and understand the American mentality too. And there's only a couple of countries that I've encountered, and Estonia is one of them. And I'm seeing the more people that I'm meeting over here, there's a huge opportunity here for entrepreneurs. In terms of whether or not Kosovo could become the next tech hub, I don't know. Maybe we'll find out, I think, in the next 10 years. And it's probably 50-50. And a lot of it depends on a unified message. That's key, right? It's the who, what, where, why, and when. If you guys could get into a room together and say, hey, this is who we are now. We're associated, at least to the stupid Americans, we're associated with tanks and ethnic cleansing and riots. How do we change that personal perception of the country? You guys are the face of it, and that's the answer. A 90-year-old guy is not going to do it. A 10-year-old kid is not going to do it. But you guys are the faces of the future of Kosovo, and I feel you could change the entire dynamic and the entire world stage of at least perception. Yeah.
Regarding the perception, I think that we have to work in both ways, because the majority in our country think that majority of Americans are stupid.
Yes. And I argue with people, I'm not arguing with you. I wholeheartedly agree, 100%.
It's a general perception.
No, it's not a perception, it's real.
We don't know that.
Well, no, I'm telling you, it is real. We're not, for whatever reason, look, we do a lot of good things. Our intelligence, I don't know, but we present ourselves very well. But yes, our scope and our knowledge of the geopolitical we have no, I told you, like, you ask somebody who lives in Philadelphia, can you find Philadelphia on a map? He can't, I'm telling you. He has no idea where he's.
No, we laugh so much with a lot of videos that we see.
Tell us more, let's go, insult us, because a lot of us are American. We could talk offline,
Change our perception. Why should America or anyone else change our perception? We are.
I think we should both work in both ways to change our perceptions for both of our nations.
No, the ambassador's right. What incentive do I have? You're right, why should I, we have our own issues, That's why we have a lot of issues. The burden really is on you guys to be able to change the perception of Kosovo. And again, you guys are in the space, you guys are in the place to do it. Because once you guys get older, who knows what the younger generation, there's going to be a lot of brain drain also leaving the country, and everyone's going to suffer. So I think it's about the collective also coming together and trying to move the needle, and I think it's possible. Especially the country is so young too, So go ahead, any other questions, any other marketing, media questions? Anybody want to make one up? No? Okay. So I think we, yes, go ahead. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to put you through that.
But I would like to ask you about, we have a lot of talent, I had the chance to meet a lot of guys who are closely related to VR and augmented reality and technologies, disruptive technologies like these. We have a lot of potential here in Kosovo. What is your take about the future of this technology and how
Sure. You mean AI and VR? My inclination is like, yeah, go for it. I could tell you it's challenging because a lot of countries, whether it's Israel, whether it's Estonia, whether it's Romania, they're all trying to vie for that kind of position. Yes, they want to be the leader in AI. They want to be the leader in virtual reality and immersive media. What's that? Right now? I don't know. You tell me. Is there an established shape? No, I don't think there's necessary. I know there's a lot of people vying for that position. You know, when Snapple, you guys drink Snapple? No, Snapple. Maybe that's an American. No, Snapple. Okay, then it's a terrible example. I'm not gonna. There's a very, very large beverage company in America called Snapple. Okay, order it on Amazon. Okay, you'll like it.
We don't have Amazon here.
That's the problem. All right, so you guys have to set up some sort of delivery company. So when Snapple launched, and I think that they knew they were going to become a big company, they said they don't want to be number one. Why? Because they knew Coca-Cola had number one. Their goal was to be number two.
Because they will try hard.
They'll always, right, because one can always fall down to number two. Number two, sure, could fall down, but they can always strive to number one also. So I don't think it's necessarily, you know, can you be the leader? Can you be the first? If you're number two and you're number three, you know, or number three or number four, there's a big enough market share, you know. Let's talk about quickly. Let me just share. Who has Twitter? Please tell me you have Twitter. You don't have Amazon. Okay, so let's actually see if we could trend right now. So open up your Twitter account and let's do a tag. Open up. Let's go Twitter. Let's do a hashtag talking about trying to move the needle. I think if we have 15, 20, 25 people over here, we may be able to trend in the area. So come up with a hashtag. What's that?
Should we switch on our Russian bots?
No. We could talk about that in the elections offline. At least the American elections. So come up with a hashtag that maybe we could start trending here. And let's take the AI. You know, let's do I don't know, Kosovo leading AI hashtag. That is long. Do you have a better one? No.
Something shorter.
Anybody have one? Something with Kosovo and something with AI. Let's see if we could start trending.
Kosovo and AI.
Startup Kosovo? Okay, do you want to do that? That's a good idea. Where's the hashtag? The SCW or? Yeah, you want to do that? But I think for people that don't know what it is, we should have the word like Kosovo. Come on, guys, give me something creative. Okay, let's do Kosovo leads IA. If nobody has another one, okay? Leads, yeah, leads AI. I want to take your example. So Kosovo leads LEADS AI, and if you want to tag me, if you want to tag the ambassador as well, and we could also see how much juice we can get out of it. So, okay. Any other questions? Otherwise, go ahead.
I was a little bit late, so
yes.
Maybe you talked about it. What is the hardest challenge that you were looking for and you asked and you cannot find? So what you're searching, having difficulties to find. You know that, as you mentioned, that the companies have difficulties to find young talent.
Sure.
And back here, we have a lot of talent, as we mentioned.
Right.
If we talk about blockchain technology and Bitcoin, we're the second largest hub in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
Even so, if you read all the statistics, it says that we are not okay, but we are fast learners, and as you can see, our English is pretty good. And we are very fast forward growing in outsourcing. So I would just like to know what you see in the forecast, what you're going to miss in the next 5 years, what kind of talent, so we can know, maybe prepare the new workforce for you guys.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I believe, obviously, all the programming and software developers, and not to discourage any of you here, but I think all that stuff has already been commoditized, right? I mean, you know, there's a lot of countries that are banging out a lot of good, and especially at very, very low cost. What I think that will never be commoditized, and I do believe a lot of programmers should, you know, kind of look at this, is creativity, right? Creativity, you'll never be able to hand over to a bot. You'll never be able to hand over to a robot. So I think it's not even coming up with critical thinking and complex thinking. It's for me, and we're a marketing firm, so we're always looking for great creative people, great designers, great UI, UX people. That is very, very difficult to find because very few people understand the science of design also. Look, today, you snap a selfie and you're a photographer, but there's a science, as you know, we were chatting about it before, behind really, really good graphics. So my company, and a plug, we're always looking for great videographers, photographers, UI, UX, logo designers, so on and so forth.
You are in the right place.
Am I?
Yeah.
Why is that?
We have 1.4 million people using internet, from 1.8 million, from which 1.2 million are on Facebook.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no other country in the world that has 80% of the population on Facebook and on Instagram. And when you add to that 70% youngsters, like the average age is less than 35, we are the fastest growing adopting behaviors online, and we know what works and what doesn't. That's why we didn't have internet 15 years ago, and we are hooking up in this latest technology. That's why we are good in software development. That's why we are good in networking, because we're building our know-how in the latest technology.
Mm-hmm.
As you know, in US, there are like old implementations that they don't like to switch from
Right.
new technology.
Well, because we're lazy.
Yeah. But here,
Yeah, we're lazy and stupid. You guys said stupid. We're like kind of both. We're like in the middle. Like once a week, maybe we're smart and not lazy. For the most part, Americans are lazy and stupid.
That's why we are doing pretty good. Like I think it was 130 million outsourcing services last year, and it's a positive growth. And we just started doing web development from here. Maybe tomorrow and the next day, because I saw your agenda, you will meet a lot of companies that are currently working with some big companies in US, and you can recognize some of our work that we are doing here, and that's why we see a huge potential in that market. We are also already overbooked for the German market, the German-speaking market, so there's potential for English, US, London, and Australia that can tap on this talent to create these new services.
Yeah. I want to just add on something. I think what also makes Kosovo unique is I think the government, the ambassadors, the people on top, get and understand the need for innovation. And I think they're very, very tapped into the younger generation. And they know if they want to change the public perception, the public court of opinion, and turn it favorably, they need to invest. They need to invest in the younger generation. So I hear you, and I agree with you, and that's why I think that's kind of the secret sauce, right? It's you're a young country, you're hungry. I think there's a fear that a third of you may or actually will be unemployed, unfortunately, but that also creates the need to survive and the need to strive for something higher. So I'll give you if you guys want to contact me, I'll give you my Twitter handle. You can always contact me. It's just at arizoldan.com. If I can help with anything, I'm usually lazy and at home all the time, so I have time. I'll always respond to your questions. So I'll be here for a few minutes if anybody else has any questions, or go ahead.
Okay. My question is, if I start up a company in Kosovo and registered in Kosovo, but I want to sell digital products in the United States market, so what's the taxation process? Because I don't want to...
Thank God I'm not a tax lawyer. I can make up an answer. I have no idea, but I'll refer you to Michael Mint. So, you guys...
Because as far as I know, it's a fuzzy issue because Kosovo doesn't have an agreement with the United States for taxes.
We have
and it's tax-free.
zero taxation.
So,
From 2007.
any services exported from Kosovo to the US are tax-free both ways. You don't pay taxes, they don't pay taxes, they love that, we love that.
It's a win-win. Okay, great. So I'll be here for a few minutes. I'm happy to give out my card and be available for whoever needs. So thank you very much.